I'm back again. Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Wool Revolution podcast. It's been a while since I uploaded an episode here on YouTube, and that's because I have moved. I talked about that in my last episode. At that time I was just about to move. I think I had my moving boxes ready and everything, and now I'm sitting in my new home, and this is actually my own room, which is kind of crazy to say that I have my own room. And of course the plan for this room is that it's gonna be my knitting room, my knitting studio, crafting studio, and of course my home office, because I do work from home sometimes, so I'm gonna have to share my knitting space with my professional space. But I don't have a lot of plans for this room, honestly. It's difficult to know exactly what to do with it, but I have a lot of hopes that it's gonna be a room full of inspiration. Right now, as you can see, it's like we have some cords hanging from the wall, and this part here is obviously not finished. And yeah, I'm not gonna like show you around because I've moved all my stuff to like the front. I feel like I always do that when I record, so it is messy, and that goes for the whole house actually. I'm not gonna film anything now, but maybe in the future, if that's interesting to watch, I don't know. Yeah, we have already done quite a few things on the house, and we have some more to go, but I think for this podcast the most interesting part is this room. And I have painted. You can't really see the color. Well, maybe you can. It's like a peachy pink, I would call it. And now it's like midday or like early afternoon, so and this is a southeast facing window, I would say, so the sun is just about to pass. You can see I still have some sun rays coming in. So yeah, it's like in the morning and midday, it's a very bright room. And yeah, I'm gonna show you more where I have actually, like right now, these are my wardrobes, and that's where I also keep my yarn in like plastic boxes right now. But of course I want to have some yarn visible, like on the walls maybe. And oh, I can actually show you. I have done like this is my I'm gonna put this maybe on my wall. These are the socks that I have designed, so maybe I'll have some of these, like, I don't know, inspirational boards of knitting, and yeah, like swatches maybe that I've done. Not that I do that very often, but yeah. So a lot of things need to come up on the walls. And also right now, okay, I'll show you even though it's messy, but here you can see I have, yes, all my like training workout clothes, but also like a little chaise longue or sofa or whatever you want to call it, and that's something I really want to have. Maybe not this one, because this is for outside. It's just here right now because we don't know where to put it, but something like that I would like to have in this room, so that I can actually sit in here and knit and maybe like listen to podcasts or whatever. And so I want to have like a cozy corner. Obviously I have my desk. This is my desk. I said I wasn't gonna show you all the mess, but I am. Oh, and this is actually I don't think I've shown her yet. I don't know what it's called, but the kind of doll. Not a doll. Yeah, you use it to try on clothes. Her name is Iris, apparently. Maybe actually I'm gonna put my vest on her when I show it properly, because let's dive into it. I'm wearing my vest, and I talked about this in the last episode, and yeah, like I said, these 6 months have been quite busy. I haven't been knitting much at all, and it's been summer also, and that's usually when my knitting goes down a little bit, and that's okay. I mean, it's been like, moving is a very stressful experience for anyone, and the house, like, we have renovated, or not we, but we've had some help to renovate the bathroom, and that was like living in chaos. And yeah, we have 3 rooms on this floor, and those 3 rooms have also been renovated. And actually this wall right here is new, so we have also like built that wall with help. Me and my partner, we don't know how to do these things, but we're learning, so that's good. So yeah, all that to say that like this whole floor has been very messy, and the floor downstairs has also been messy because that's where we've put all our stuff. But now things are starting to shape up in here, which means I can knit more and record these podcasts. But back to the vest. So this is actually the only thing that I have finished during these months, and I think actually this is my favorite project of all time. I am so proud of this vest. Like I mentioned before, I have, like, this is my own design basically. This motif, right, like this motif is like a Shetland Island motif, so I haven't like, I didn't draw it up completely from scratch, but I have done some modifications just to make it fit my total amount of stitches, and like I have puzzled these pieces together, and yeah, all the measurements are like for me and my body, so that's also something that I've had to calculate, and yeah, I'm just very, very proud. And I think the colors, I talked a lot about the colors in my last episode, and also the yarns that I used, so you can go back and watch that if you want to hear about that. And the construction, yeah, should I put it on Iris maybe? I think I'll do that. Kom lite närmare. Okay, let's try this setup. She's very helpful, my friend Iris. I just think it's easier to actually see the whole piece this way. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, the shape is quite boxy, and the reason is basically I started working from the bottom, and then when I came to the point where I separated the front and the back piece, obviously I had to cast off, like bind off a few stitches here for the underarm, and I didn't bind off that many, and the same goes for when I was like decreasing, for like you always had to decrease a little bit here, and I didn't decrease that much either, which you know, obviously is gonna give it a bit of a boxy shape and not very like fitted. which I mean I like it, so it's not a super big issue. It's just something I noticed that maybe I would actually have it a bit more, like decreased a bit more, and maybe bind off more stitches. Yeah, this was the back. Ooh, this is the back. And yeah, maybe I should just go through the whole knitting process. Like I said, I started from the bottom and like knitted in the round, and then I did the bind off and the decreases, and then is when I used the backwards knitting technique, which I talked about in my last episode as well. So I knitted the front piece and the back piece flat, which was quite like difficult in the beginning, and eventually it just got easier and easier. And I am very eager to keep using that technique when I knit color work, but I don't think that there are that many patterns that use this technique. I think most of the color work patterns with like of this kind of garment usually have you steeking for the armhole. But I don't know, I feel like now that I've learned, or like I've gotten a bit more comfortable with this technique, I would really like to keep going with it. So we'll see if I find patterns using the technique, or if I'll just have to make something up for myself. And for the neckline, I used the same ribbing as for the armhole cuffs, whatever this is called, and this part, it's the same ribbing, a twisted rib, and the neckline I folded double, so it's a bit more like it keeps the shape a little better, and yeah, it just looks nice. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it. I feel a bit awkward sitting in this position. It's almost like I don't have to be in frame. You can just look at this beautiful, beautiful piece. And I think I mentioned that last time too. I have been thinking about like writing up a pattern from this, but I started to write everything down, and I just find it really difficult to size clothing, especially because I mean this is made for my body and my measurements, and it's difficult to, like, I don't know how to write for other sizes, so that's going to be something I have to learn in that case. Maybe I could learn that, but I think I'm scared to do it wrong, just because it's a very hot topic in the knitting world of like size inclusivity, and you know, a lot of designers not being able to design for larger sizes, for example, and I can definitely understand that, and I can also understand how it can get to that point, because like if I would take these measurements and just size them up, like all the measurements just sized up in the same scale, it would probably not fit very well on the larger sizes, because that's just not how we're built. So we'll see. Maybe I know my mom is watching, so I'm probably gonna give her a like a first draft of you know, a pattern. It's not even, I can't even call it a pattern, because it's just like my notes, really. And then we'll see what I do with it. I'm gonna get back into this one now. So this is obviously gonna be a shorter episode than usual, because I don't have a lot to talk about This vest was basically my main piece, but I have two more things to talk about. One is a blanket that I'm working on. A lot of my friends are getting pregnant at the moment, so I feel like I'm working on a baby blanket like every episode. And this is for one of my closest friends, and she is expecting a boy in just a month. So I need to I need to work faster than what I've been doing. And it's not knitting, it's crochet, and it's gonna be a sunflower blanket. I think the pattern is called something like sunflower something. I'll put it down here. And yeah, I have made a lot of these sunflower squares. It doesn't really look like a square, but if I manipulate it a little bit, it will probably work. And I've made quite a few. And this is not even all of them. I have a few more downstairs. These are the ones that I've been a good girl weaving in the ends, so I don't have to weave in ends for all of the squares when I'm done. I'm gonna make a few more. I think I have like 4 left, and so I'm gonna have 5 on like this side, and then I'm gonna have 6 on this side, and that's just gonna have to be enough. And I'll have a border in the white color. I'm gonna have a border. Yeah, I'm basically following the pattern very strict. I don't think I've done anything, like any modification. Like the colors are also very much the same as intended in the pattern. So yeah, I think it's gonna look really nice. And the yarn I'm using is what yarn am I using? I think it's a superwash woolly yarn, because that's something I kind of regretted in my one of the previous baby blankets I made, is that I made it in Rauma Finull, and you probably can wash it in the washing machine, but I said to the recipients that maybe keep it in the car or like in the stroller, so that you don't have to wash it as often. But for this one, you're supposed to be able to wash it in the washer, no problem, hopefully, which I think makes it a bit more versatile for the family. Yeah, so that's one thing, and the final thing that I want to show you is another vest that I'm making for my partner. And I actually bought this yarn. I'm using Peer Gynt. The color, I'm not sure which color it is, but it's like a dark grey, almost black. Yeah, I didn't buy this yarn that long ago. I think just before my little break I've had, and with the intention to knit a vest for my partner. So, you know, I don't know how you feel, or if you ever have like breaks from knitting, but I have always had periods when I'm just not knitting, and then when you're trying to get back to it, it can be a bit overwhelming to knit on like 2 complex projects, and that's kind of how I felt now. So I thought I'd just go for something easy, and like a basic stockinette vest is it was just perfect. And this was something that I had planned on making anyway, so I just basically had to start and get going. And I think I said when I knitted the brown oversized cardigan for my partner, I think I said that I would never again knit something for him without a pattern, just because like the stakes are too high. When I make a mistake, it's just so much more annoying to rip back something that's for him because it's larger. And yeah, I wasn't gonna do that to myself. But do you think this is from a pattern? No, it's not. But I think, like, I'm very confident in knitting vests. What I do is that I use, I have bought one pattern, and that's the Stockholm Slipover V-neck from Petite Knit. I bought that a few years ago. Like, I kind of use the same techniques as in that pattern, but obviously the measurements are completely different when I knit for my partner. And this is not a V-neck, as you probably can't see. So I do have to make a lot of modifications. The only thing really that I take from that pattern is the shoulder. This was really hard to show. Maybe I should bring back Iris. She has this technique of shoulder shaping. It's really hard to see, but you kind of, yeah, I don't know, you kind of shape it like here around the neck in a nice way so that it lays really nice on the shoulder. And that's a nice technique that I use. I didn't use it like for this sweater because it's too complicated to do shaping when you have color work like this, but for stockinette it's just fine. And I do everything in the same order as in the Stockholm Slipover pattern. So I start with the back piece, and for this I did some short rows. I'm not sure if that's actually in the Stockholm Slipover pattern. And I knit a little bit here on the back piece, and then I started increasing. I've just like taken a chance on everything here, and then when I've had the opportunity I've tried it on my partner just to see that it's not completely off. But I don't know if it's gonna fit perfectly, or if anything, I think it'll be a little bit too big, but I'd rather have it too big. I think that's what I said about the cardigan as well, but I mean, it's true. It's better if it's too big. And this is something he's gonna wear on top of a shirt or something. Yeah, so I'll just keep going here on the front. I'm also gonna start increasing here for the armhole pretty soon, and then it's just like keep on going in the round. I might actually do this neckline pretty soon because I think it looks very big. Well, maybe not too bad, but I think it looks a bit big, so I'm gonna have to see if it works. Yeah, so I'll do the ribbing here pretty soon. Yeah, and the yarn, like I said, Peer Gynt. The needle size, I actually don't know if it's 4mm or 4.5mm. I just took what was available. Yeah, and that's it, I think. I don't have anything else to talk about. I definitely felt more inspired this past week than I've done in the past 6 months, which is really nice. So I'm spending some time on Ravelry, like looking at patterns, on Instagram as well, like looking for inspiration, and yeah, I'm eager to cast on a lot of things. I'm also eager to go through all of my stash, and actually one thing I'd like to do is to put everything that I have in my stash on Ravelry. As you may know, Ravelry have this feature where you can like digitalize your entire yarn stash, and that's something I'm eager to do if it's possible. I'm not sure if I remember what everything is, but yeah, I think that would make it easier to like make plans and decide on what to do next. But I'm definitely eager to do more color work after this. It was so much fun to knit on this piece, and like it didn't take that much time really, because it's just a vest and it's, like I said, quite cropped, so it wasn't that bad, even though I knit it on 3mm needles and fingering weight yarn. So maybe I'll knit one more of these. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll hopefully be back sooner rather than later. Yeah, it's nice that it's autumn. It's nice to be inspired and to be back knitting. And maybe I'll give you a house tour sometime in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye!